Welcome, everyone, to Hacking Infinity, the Eschaton. How are you all?
We're here.
Good.
We're alive.
Yes,
We're ready
seen.
to conquer the universe.
We
are
conquered
Perhaps
the
literally.
technology. Now we are ready for everything.
Yeah.
With us today is a special guest, Hassa, who you may recognize from Faded Worlds. He has been an awesome GM there, and I've missed playing with you.
Aw. You're way too flattering, as always. Just make me shy, Brad.
Oh, sorry. uh, I don't know where I'm actually going with segue, other than to say, if we want to jump right into like game stuff, there's like bonds to set up, but we can maybe we should do a little bit more check-in first.
Also, we also have more people to introduce for people who haven't seen this game show before.
So yeah, so if you're tuning in for the first
very
time,
exciting
yeah,
to have somebody new here.
if you're tuning in for the first time, hi, I'm Brad, your horrible host.
No, you're not.
It's like making another set at the table when you've like planned out this many quail breasts or whatever people who have dinner eat.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
So,
Brad, stop.
So
I super
days
enjoy
are-
the brain wormhole that your mind went down. That makes me so happy.
That's a Dazer, everyone.
Yes,
They're great.
also known as the Posh Panda, who does some very cool, cute artwork, and is also working on an RPG themselves.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm great.
Uh,
That's all I got.
okay.
I haven't been alive enough to think about anything else.
And Adam, also known as Dark Lavender Void, who
Hi, I'm Adam, also known as Dark Lavender Void. I have jerky.
Freshly killed this morning. That doesn't work.
No,
That's not.
untrue.
That's not how jerky works.
Yeah.
Even I know that.
It's a very good dehydration system, guys. It's an Amazon.
It's
Mi-
operated
microwave
by void
dehydrate?
technology.
No.
yeah.
Sorry, I was just thinking about microwave jerky.
how is how is Mortally Bankrupt coming along? Are there? I've heard there might be new developments, and that we'll probably be playing it
Wonderful
next week.
developments.
Yeah.
As in, we'll probably be playtesting it, and that'll give me encouragement to actually work on it. I mean, I have been working on it the whole time, but I need to actually finish things.
So, how much of it is unfinished?
So, like, the thing is, I've been working on this game for like 2 years or so. Wait, hold on. Let me figure out my math. Yeah, 2 years. So there's a lot. I finally gotten to the point where like I know what the creative direction is, and I've got that completely locked down. But that's changed a lot over time, and I haven't gotten to playtest with the new creative direction yet. So I don't know if everything's going to be the way that I want it there yet, but I feel like a lot of the stuff that matters will be like ready and playable.
Cool.
Cool.
So like kind of at that point.
Excellent.
Yeah, with Eschaton, I thought I knew the like at pretty much each point along the process, I thought that I knew, exactly what I wanted it to do and where it was going, and it has. And in some ways that has remained true. In others, like there's been like major parts of the focus that have like come into it along the way. Like I hadn't originally thought of it as so focused on world building, and it's turned out to be muchly that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm at a point where I'm like, I want to finish making this game, so I have to like put a stake in the ground on it being like this like glamorous reality TV show eldritch horror.
Mhm.
Welcome to the Night Vale fanciness.
It's going to be great.
It
really
is going to
happens.
be great. You can't work on a project for 2 years and not absolutely love it to death and beyond.
Otherwise, you work on another.
Or
project.
hate it with a passion.
Yeah. It is my love.
Your life, your love.
And speaking of
Loves?
love, we have the just lovely person all around Spook. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, fam. I'm well. Hi, my name's Spook. I still really feel that I can make the triangle shape fit in the star-shaped hole, so I'm still working on that. It's been like 32 years. I just feel like it's gonna fit one of these days.
Bound to.
I'll keep you guys updated on that.
Yeah, nice. I've been like following your Twitter on that you definitely have.
So, yeah. I am, well, okay. Not to, well, I guess yes to hard segue into game stuff.
I mean,
That's fine.
that's your job. You segue us.
Okay. But I guess let's talk a little bit about your character, Roger Hassa, and we'll develop some bonds.
Yeah, so Roger is this grumpy old guy. He leads a regional intelligence under the name of Argus. And he's a grumpy old guy. He's seen too much. He's unhappy with some stuff he did, but he's somehow explained it to himself and kept on going because what else will you do? He leads this very totalitarian organization with a strong hand, and they are particularly good at influencing others, which they have used to, gain a grip over this star system so far. But morale in the agency has grown a little low lately, potentially, to do with the grumpy way that he gives orders and tells everybody to do their job and shut up.
Yeah, and personally having maybe that kind of spiteful and dishonest.
I mean, that doesn't help.
It's just because he's grumpy, guys. It's not the other things that you just said. It's the grumpy.
Yeah, I mean,
Totally. Yes.
it's an intelligence agency, so one might expect dishonest, but spiteful. Spiteful. That might be different.
After a while, after seeing and doing horrible things as a spy originally myself, I just feel like I've reached a level above that, right? This is the level where I don't have to do the horrible stuff anymore. Nobody messes with me, and I'm the boss. And everybody listens to me. And if anybody thinks that they can mess with me, then I'm just gonna grind them down to the ground. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds fair.
My agency is technologically pretty advanced. I have a spacecraft with stealth, and my agents are all armed with a piece of gear worth up to 4 woofy.
Oh, yeah,
I
we
have no
figured
clue
that
what that means, but I think that means they're technologically advanced.
out.
That or they're carrying diamonds for no particular reason. And they're everywhere. They've got, you know, at least one agent in every population, if not more.
But in mind, they're just visiting.
Yes.
Whereas in
So,
mine, they've completely infiltrated because we are not good at keeping people out.
No,
aw,
you take like several year-long vacations.
I
just
do.
hang out.
yeah.
It's
The
true.
the problem I'm having recently, probably, especially with at Alaska, I think,
Mhm.
is that my agents more and more get unhappy with the situation here, and they might have started converting a little bit, you know, getting too much into their undercover personas. So that might be interesting for the future.
hmm
I mean, library is really beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful
Well,
place to work,
Mm.
mostly, except for the
Um,
radiation.
Well, I mean, it could be a thing where, like, since Alaska only does business things for like a month every 4 years to 7 years, maybe they've been undercover for longer than you were expecting.
I mean, I think like a lot of them have been undercover for long, and I don't think has anything to do with expecting.
Mhm.
I think it's just an oversight on my case, where, you know, I expect people to do their job and work hard, but I forget sometimes that they're people.
Yeah, that's fair.
So my agents are very good, but, you know, they have their weaknesses.
Against the beauty of a crystalline blue sky with that particular green haze, and also a club that somehow keeps going up into space but never actually hits it. I mean, that's pretty exciting.
Exactly.
I've been thinking about that, and I want there to be some sort of sci-fi roller derby in there. It will be amazing.
Yes. Please.
Nice.
Oh, you know what it is? It actually doesn't go up, it goes around the whole planet. Just with the monitors in the club, it makes it's like the thing in Tales from the Loop, like a particle accelerator.
Yeah.
But it's a
Yeah.
nightclub particle accelerator. It's just so big
And
you
it's
can't
creating
tell
the
that
radiation. Yes.
Yeah.
The Large Hadron roller derby. I love it.
Okay, a note must be made about that.
Yeah.
I am 110% on board with this. This is
Okay.
great.
So
Yeah,
this
'cause-
is basically the show for new people. We have bullshit ideas about each other's characters, and we run with them, and it's great. That's
Yeah. Whenever it's like, what would you like your character to do? I'm like, I don't know. Let somebody else go, and maybe I'll jump in.
Exactly.
It's a fun time.
So, does anybody have an idea of what kind of bond they could be having with Roger?
Oh,
What
Think
are
about
I know
that,
your
but-
bonds are a little different than ours, right?
Yeah, but I
there's
think
only,
everybody
like,
chooses a
one-
bond of themselves, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
well, I kill people for money, so I'm always good for that. If you ever need a bit of that done or have done in the past,
I mean, I'm like, maybe I don't know if that fits into any bond,
I'm
but
real
maybe
good
Brad
at it.
can tell us. But maybe you did a job for us sometime and somehow it went wrong, and now we're denying your existence altogether, or something along those lines.
Yep, sounds about right.
And the fact is, spooked people don't have a planet. They have like a space station, right? Like a
It's just
or
a
like
ship.
a fleet. Oh, just a ship. Okay.
Just the one ship.
Okay. It's a big ship though.
Well,
It's a-
it did have state of the art, but that got nerfed sadly, and so now it's has a quality that's yet to be set in precedent.
Okay.
Well, perhaps it has the quality of being plausibly deniable.
Okay. Oh yeah. Fun of that.
Okay.
So I don't remember what happened about state of the art being nerfed. Did you? Did I say
It was
that was a problem?
It was removed from the options after one of the updates you did.
Ah.
So I presumed you intentionally nerfed that, but yeah, I mean, I've got plans. Don't worry, but yeah, plausibly deniable is a fine tag for me.
Can
don't
I
recall this-
consider somebody else's organization to be tragically backwards?
Hi,
You consider
hi there.
another.
Points to where Spook is.
I mean, I like that. My grumpy old guy thinks he knows how the world works and that everybody should think and act the same he does. You know.
Okay. So you wanted to go with tragically backwards rather than having utilized the.
I mean, maybe.
Having utilized them and now being like, no,
So
you're
let's
deniable.
change it. Maybe I've utilized them, and then I realized that their methods suck, and now I don't want anything to do with their now, or not that I don't want anything to do with them, but I'm trying to tell them how to behave the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Something along those lines.
Oh, so it's not, yeah. So,
we
incorporating
worked together,
the
and then
backwards.
I realized,
the,
oh my god,
yeah,
this guy, he doesn't get how things are done.
yeah. And it's not like you want to get rid of them. It's just that you want to change how they function so that they can be a useful tool.
I mean,
Yes?
how old is your organization and or like your character?
I'm not sure how old my character is, but the organization is quite new. They've only been going for like less than a year.
Yeah, so probably I'm trying to protect them from the mistakes I did myself, except, in a not very nice way.
Hurt him to save him.
And do I pick one for Roger as well, or is that are we Gucci now that Roger has one with me?
It has to be asymmetrical. No, it has to be not the other one. Reciprocal.
Is that a reciprocal bond? Does it say on your little sheety beaty?
So what it says on my sheet, hold on. It can be either because you can choose whether or not you feel the same way about my organization.
Oh no, I probably think you're great. Oh, brilliant. Well, in that case, then I'll take the one back at you, where you also know the worst kept secret in the galaxy, which is that I'm a charlatan, and the giant robot dominatrix isn't literally a god.
Oh,
I know, shocking.
I also know that one. That's.
What?
Never mind, Alaska. It's fine.
Why I think you're horribly backwards, because if I know the secret and if Atalaska knows the secret, then
no, Atalaska doesn't. Aerothan knows the secret. I'm Aerothan.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Aerothan.
Lots of names.
I
Nesting
thought you were
names.
Atalaska.
I was calling Adam Tom last game, so I mean that's
It's very true.
that's fine.
So Aerothan, and like Aerothan knows and I know, and that's not a way to keep secrets. That is not how you build an organization and bring it to power.
Yeah, you keep your secret secret. What is your?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm like, I thought I meant something to the void goo. Turns out the void goo doesn't love. Why does the void goo not love?
Aw.
Oh yeah, you just reminded me about the void goo saying "we" last game.
Yeah.
So
Handily
that's
unconfirmed. Yeah, I'm hyped for that.
I want to roll, and during the housing of Spook's god, I infiltrated them and was able to say something that was true, and so I implanted the idea of not just a single god, but a pantheon, and I didn't consider that they would split themselves to become a pantheon to make it so negotiations would be easier in the future, but Who can
They
say?
might be easier.
Who can say?
There's probably at least one aspect that you'll be able to get along with swimmingly.
Mhm.
It'd be great.
There's an aspect for everyone. It's new capitalism.
Yeah.
Um.
Oh no. So I have an idea for a bond.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think, where is it?
The secret bond. You're not allowed to know about it.
It is a secret bond. It's a secret related bond. Another PC knows a secret about you that would make things rather difficult to reveal. And I get to choose the secret. So the secret is that you see that green planet on the right side? The one called Adalaska's Folly?
Hold on, save changes. Yes.
What we've known thus far is that I am responsible for radiating that planet into having its green color and evacuating the people that live there.
Or causing them to have to evacuate. Or did you do the help perform the evacuation?
I forced them to evacuate.
Yeah, so he forced them from that planet to another planet. But they were pretty okay. But they're really nice people. They're like the only nice people in the galaxy here.
What Roger knows is that the terraformer that I have now was not properly or legally procured. So all the tools that I'm using to create these planets are originally stolen from other people, and they're too big of assets to not be worth nothing.
Okay, good to know. So have I blackmailed you about that in the past?
Ooh, maybe.
Because I imagine that's what my organization does, right? Get their fingers in everybody's business and get a profit from it.
Oh yeah, it makes total sense.
You probably hate me because I don't work with money.
Yeah.
I mean, potentially. Like,
Well,
I feel like that's not on the bonds list, but can we have a bond that I really, really want to infiltrate her? I'll do anything to infiltrate. Or I don't know what gender you're.
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm like,
yeah.
they them.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I find that very hard to do. Like, I want to do it, but it's so easy to forget.
I've been trying to use they them as my base term for everyone until they specifically tell me, and I found that's really helped out with viewing everyone as like not automatically gendering people into this and that, because that is ingrained problematic situation that I'm working on getting better at.
Within the entire society, yes.
I mean, I agree with that idea.
Yeah.
But most of the time when I say they to people, they just look at me as if I'm stupid. Or as if, they don't understand what I'm saying at the very least.
Well, it's a hard adjustment. And that's,
I'm not multiple people. No, I know. Yeah. Although I guess in your case, you are multiple people, sort of.
Yeah. IRL and in game. I'm kidding.
I'm sure you are. Really wants to infiltrate Arathin.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there an existing bond that just fits that already?
I didn't find any that does that specifically.
It could be do you have to have something they want? It could be that one tweaked a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing they cover.
I think actually there is one about infiltration, but where was it? Oh no, yeah, that's different. You've gathered intel that indicates one of the other PC's organizations has been infiltrated by unsavory elements, but that's kind of
It's all
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've built my organization against infiltration. So
yeah, so you have something I want, which is yourself.
yeah, which is the massive. I imagine, if you will, a Russian nesting doll of informational like city blocks, and at the core of it is like, I pictured it like not above ground, like the whole city is exposed and you can go wherever, but like Professor Xavier's like big white mind thing, sort of like that. But that's like what the outside looks like. Nobody knows what it looks like inside because that's where the information like goes out through.
Okay.
Would you have the tech? Like, would you possess the technology to make it possible for one of my agents to be somehow like assimilated?
Oh, absolutely. But the thing is, I have an organization in my people who are trying to strip the emotional reference and knowledge off of all of the facts and memories that I have. So maybe you can have an in with those guys.
So what I want is your technology. I want to find and get that technology, and then make a copy for myself, and then adjust it so that they get partially assimilated and that they can still feed information. That is my goal.
That's sweet.
So would it be fair to say that you want access to Erethin's just like memory network, or is it more specific than that? That it's.
I think mostly the memory network.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I want to get that technology necessary to, gain access, or to have my people gain access.
Yeah. I think maybe even though like at one point you've had and then lost people who have become assimilated, they're like, okay, I'm going to go in, and they give you some reports from day to day, but then it just stopped.
Yeah. Which is why I want the technology, so that I can adjust it and make sure that it doesn't stop.
Yeah, yeah. And that's not saying like they died or they were disappeared, but maybe they're just living happily on my planet. Or maybe they broke away from you.
Perhaps.
Because
all possible.
One of Spook's folks came to my planet, which is how I learned their secret. It's a dangerous world out there.
So I need to ask the question: why? Why would Erethin want to deny this totalitarian spy organization access to their memory network? I mean, it seems like a no-brainer, but.
Also spiteful. Don't forget that, and dishonest.
I think,
and they are trying.
I think it's because they never asked
everybody.
Oh.
I don't think they're ever gonna ask. I think they just.
If you had just asked.
Yeah, no, Roger doesn't. he thinks everybody is as much of an asshole as he is. So he thinks that if he asks, you'll say no.
Yeah, and then
and be alerted and on guard against it.
I think it's as simple as you've never asked me. Because I'm sort of playing this character like I would play myself, like as a GM. If my players ask for something, I'll give you everything you ask for.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, not sure if I want to ask anymore.
Yeah. No, I'll let you build a memory network that helps your organization. Helps.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
So, do I refer to Quasi and Adalaska in any genders?
Adalaska used to go by they, but he is now him because he changed bodies.
Yeah.
And with it, changed genders.
Okay. Roger is a he.
It's kind of hard to tell with Quasi because they're not very human-y. They're quite sort of insecty. And insects tend to be quite asexual, but they don't mind, and also neither do I as a human being called Spook.
Okay.
Okay. So does that are we
is that
with bonds, or
I need to give you a bond.
Okay.
because I think that's asymmetric. Yours to me, because you want something I have.
Yes.
I think. I think you betrayed me at some point. And you get to tell me what you did to betray me.
Oof. I
We
think
haven't used that one. It's all very nice in this galaxy so far.
So I'm spiteful, right? So I think like I gathered some useful intel before my assimilated agents disappeared or vanished from my radar, as far as I know. And I think I gave that to somebody that you didn't want me to give it, just out of spite. I didn't have to, but you took my agents away from me, and now I'm mad.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's anybody that
Who
you
did
don't
you
want
give
me
it
to give.
to? Well, you can invent a person. We have sort of a couple each, but
I mean, like, are there any other PCs that you don't want?
the big challenge is capitalists, but I can't think of like. There's not really been too much tension between the players.
You said you were trying to rid yourself of emotions, right?
There's
small
a faction
part of
that, yeah.
There's a faction within my organization that believes that pure facts are more efficient. And, yeah.
Okay, so maybe what if that faction came into being
Because
after
of you?
I exposed something really embarrassing for the whole world to know?
Mm-hmm.
Just something you did, like the equivalent of like I don't know, nude pictures or whatever.
Yeah.
That
maybe
and I just
you
made sure that it
introduced
became
the
headline.
idea of crippling embarrassment. Like there was an emotion, like because we're so nice and accepting, you introduced a negative emotion into like like an ink drop into water. It just sort of like diffused out.
So do I write just my bonds or also the bonds other people have with me on my sheet?
Both.
I've written both.
And you also need to write for each bond whether it's reciprocal or not.
Yeah.
Which I forgot to do, so let's do that now.
Yeah, as you said, I'm like, yes, that would be good to write down.
Okay.
What was your person's name?
Roger?
Mine? Roger.
Roger. I was like, Harold? No, that's not right.
Roger, as in I have got it. Roger.
Got it. So you covet enough information of my memory network to create your own.
I want the technology that you use to like add new people to your network.
Okay.
So that I can adapt it. So it's specifically the technology right now that I'm after.
Okay.
The ultimate goal is, of course, like just all the knowledge, because
all the knowledge and complete information, infiltration. Yeah, absolutely. That's.
But for now, I'm going specifically after the technology that you use, so that I can copy and adapt it.
Cool.
So.
For
nefarious purposes, maybe.
Completely safe and good and pure purposes. Porpoises?
Yes, it's for uplifting some porpoises.
So this is asymmetric. And is it that important to write down everything? Because that's going to take me like 5 minutes.
Okay.
No. So for you, I put you covered my memory network technology, and for mine to you, I put you caused affection. You gave you gave us a negative emotion, a strong negative emotion. And then
Okay. Oh yeah. Was it embarrassment or is it something else?
I think it's something else.
I mean, sure. Like what I did was I took something that I thought you would find embarrassing, and I put it in the newspapers out of spite.
Yeah, yeah.
It might be anger or embarrassment or spite or whatever you
I
think.
think it might just be spite. Because we didn't have that that because if it was embarrassing, then there would be the it's okay. We have that sort of like, oh no, it's all right if something happens. That's how we learn. But spite is such an internal, like, negative thing. Because if you're spiteful, you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think spite really matches, and plus you're very spiteful, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
What?
Maybe it was initially your curiosity for why I would be so spiteful and do something so spiteful that, your open character towards that that introduced the first spite.
Yeah. And also it could be like you had, maybe it was during one of your infiltrations that you started that organization that I'm having such trouble with now. And also like people I absorbed into it, like their memories were infected, like their memories of you.
Yeah, probably if I'm spiteful to others in my organization, they're spiteful to me.
Yeah. So you ink dropped my perfectly pristine world that had no flaws in it.
None whatsoever.
It's perfect and had no flaws.
Yeah, mine too. Perfect.
Yeah. Everyone here is perfect and have no flaws.
So the one that I considered horribly backwards was Quasi, right?
Yes.
Hi. Yeah, and it's you
Quasi
sort of hello.
Quasi's organization horribly backwards.
And also my secret.
And
they're a charlatan.
yes, I know that they're a charlatan, right? I also know they are a charlatan. They are horrible at keeping secrets.
Yeah, they're not great.
And with Adalaska, what did we have?
Oh, you know that Adalaska's terraformer
Right.
is improperly.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a permit.
Terraformer is illegal, and I have previously blackmailed them with it.
Wait, is this the terraformer that I have now?
Yes, same one.
Okay.
But I mean, I've had it for
Decades?
like a couple of decades. Yeah.
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 Oh yeah. Obviously, there couldn't be any blowback on Aerothin for having it now.
Nah.
Yeah, definitely having it in a more public atmosphere than was previously.
Together.
This is fine.
Let's see.
Oh, and thank you, Leo, for the subscription. You were awesome. Appreciate it.
What's up? Hello, sub.
RP, you have
Now-
a sub button?
Now I
I
want to
do.
sub.
You're getting a sub from me next month.
Oh, thank you.
Hooray!
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Hell
Apparently,
yeah.
I'm not like a partner or anything, but I am an affiliate.
Hooray! Congratulations.
Fancy.
Yeah, that's my
I've got
goal
a-
for the spring quarter is to get a steady schedule, because I stream a lot, but I never tell people when I'm streaming.
Oh.
It's not
Mhm.
it's not great.
So I'm guessing that the terraformer being illegal is asymmetrical.
Yeah, it's the
So
fact
it's
that you know
significant.
that secret. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I'm not sure that Adalaska has a bond back. Did we cover that in a
No, that's my
That is
That's my
Adalaska's
bond.
bond
with
Oh.
to them.
Oh yes, okay.
with Roger. Now Roger
So-
needs to make a bond with me.
Um. I'm not sure.
If you go the romance route, you're going to get ignored because I already have a romance thing with Quasi.
No, not going the
are
romance
ignored?
route. I don't think
And,
romance
yeah,
route is.
and love triangles are never interesting.
This guy is not that romantic.
But they're such a unique idea. I really feel that somebody should explore it.
I mean, if you include the giant robot, it's kind of a love triangle.
Okay.
If you consider the giant robot and then every instance of yourself in your organization,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of love there.
Yeah. Like a love snowflake.
Oh,
I'm
so
sorry.
you're in love with the giant robot? Is that it?
When you're in love with a giant robot.
Because
Yeah,
then
that's-
I have an interesting one.
Oh, okay.
Hi, it's-
So,
oh, you're gonna like it.
yeah.
You and another PC are competing for the affections of the same person.
Mayhaps the same robot.
Mayhaps.
Well, okay. Is Adalaska wasn't the relationship with Quasi not really with the
the relationship is with
robot.
Quasi, not.
Yeah, but Adalaska
Goddess.
he's had a dip. He's
Yeah.
been dipped.
And he's
You
been
know.
changed for that,
Mhm.
and
And
it
once
affected
you have
becoming
the
them more
dip, then you-
masculine.
So
Yeah,
I don't know.
So-
I don't have a thing for that.
So you have a thing for Quasi, or
I have
Other
a
way
thing for
around?
the robot god.
But
You
we
have a
used
thing-
to have a thing.
Yeah, so there's two relationships. There's Quasi and Adalaska that used to date.
Mhm.
And then Adalaska recently got absorbed and changed by the goo god, who is the robot god in their new house. So that is a blossoming relationship there. So, I mean,
I
once
see.
you go goo, it's not great. It's just you don't want to do that.
There's one of them out there. I'm sure there's some kind of once you go blank, you never go thing that rhymes with blank. I'm sure there's one for this. That's my mission by the end of this. I'm gonna find it.
So tell me
This
a
is
little bit
the
about the
interesting
goo
fact.
robot. Like,
Yeah, like
Oh, okay. Wow. So, so I decided that I'd start a religion, but instead of like making up a fictitious god, I would build a goddess in my basement, so that there would be a real goddess to worship. But it's kind of like actually some kind of homogeneous biomechanical entity, where it has this thing we call the essence, that's like this black amorphous goo creature that just absorbs both like physical matter but also data and energy, and sort of changes and evolves as it like eats more goo. And then I shoved that goo eating monster into like a giant mildly pornographic sort of statuesque female robot body. It's very, if you've seen the anime short film Me Me Me, it's kind of inspired by that kind of flex. If you're watching on YouTube, the icon that Brad found is actually quite close to how I imagined it as well. So
cool.
good job on that, Brad. But yeah, it's just a weird, mildly pornographic, giant hungry robot goddess that also has a dong.
mhm.
yeah, I think that is totally what Roger would be into. Just letting go of the worries of everyday life and all the things he's seen, and just forget about everything with a sex goddess. So
Yes.
how about
I mean, if there's something to be desired, it's a sex goddess is pretty high up there.
Look, all must worship.
And if you're going through like a grumpy late life crisis, then someone young and shiny and full of rockets it's probably right up your alley. It's like
yeah
buying a sports car when you're 30. It's just an upgraded version.
I keep
remember
this
when I
this
was
desire
young.
kind of secret though, because intelligence directors are not supposed to be into giant robots, but it's my one vice. I don't have any other.
Nice.
Just let me have this.
One thing.
Let me have this goddess, and you'll be fine.
The
Okay.
banter
I
is
love
on form tonight. I don't know if I'm just extra wasted, but you're all very amusing today. Oh.
So I'm putting it in notes as Roger is competing with Adalaska and others for the goddess's affections.
Yeah, I am.
Mhm.
I want that giant sex robot, and Alaska cannot have it.
And it's because of your spite. It's like, oh, I want this toy. No one else can have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Which is hard when somebody who built it is trying to make a religion around it. So that's gonna be
Yeah.
fun.
Amazing.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Let's
So
think of it as I'm redefining what a religion is.
I mean, you got two of us hooked at least.
Oh, so does your organization have a base on a planet, or are you just sort of like networked over all of them?
I feel like we have a base on every planet.
Mm-hmm.
We probably have a central base on some asteroid somewhere.
Okay.
and you do have stealth ships. So
Yes.
those could be used as mobile bases, possibly. Or a stealth ship.
I think a stealth ship. I think my
okay.
personal ship has stealth. But the others are decked out with other stuff because all my agents have, their
Yeah.
their own gadgets.
Well, let's work out that that piece of gear.
Oh,
Or
okay.
asset that they
It's
all
one
have.
piece of gear. I was thinking go gadget agent, whereas everybody has their own gadget thing. But if it's one piece of thing, it's
Okay. So.
There's a list.
Yeah, it's
They're
possible
posting everything
in this
to
game.
add more as you go.
I see.
But,
Well,
yeah, if you
can
look under
it be
handouts
a
for...
weapon?
Okay, it can
it be a weapon? But can it be like flavorly, like reskinned for everybody? As in, everybody has a weapon, but one shoots rubber duckies and the next one shoots laser beams, kind of thing.
Sure.
I think there is a precedent for that because I have this too, and you said that they could be different things if all the different things fit under the same theme. Like for me, you said because they'd all be insect-themed things, it was okay.
Okay. Sure, let's go with that.
Where's which one is the list?
Oh, it's assets.
It's under handouts and then
Handouts,
assets.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
You gotta nest it. That's how I lose
see.
a lot of things there.
Yeah, if things weren't nested, there'd be too much to go through.
Okay, and it's worth up to a maximum of 4 rapids, if I understand that correctly.
This list is beautiful.
which is woofy before I under assets it's listed as rep still, but yeah, same thing.
I mean, you could have everyone have a disassembler nano. So
Yeah, I was thinking something like that. I saw that one.
Yeah, and I don't think I actually listed like guns.
No.
I mean, maybe the idea is that they disassemble their enemies. It's an aggressive disassembler nano.
Disassembler, reassembler, like you shoot someone and then like their liver disappears and there's a duck in the way.
If you did
science.
Yeah. If you want it, if you want it to be they all have some sort of gun, but it's a different gun for each. You can just say that they all have a, some sort of state of the art, which is a specific tag, gun. State of the art weapons are like dangerous. You don't want to be hit with them.
Yeah, they all have some kind of state-of-the-art gun, and most of them are mostly serious. They don't actually shoot rubber duckies, but just to give an idea of like the variety, like every agent, like that's the only thing that keeps morale up in my area, in my organization. It's that everybody gets their own cool gun and they get to go to Q and design their I want my
You
gun
have
to
a build-a-gun workshop?
Yeah, exactly. I have a build-a-gun workshop,
Sure.
and they all get to choose like their own gun. So most of them are really badass, like flamethrower or something cool like that, laser
There's one that makes
pistol.
sandwiches.
But there's some weird people in my organization sometimes.
An
You know,
explosive
there's
duck launcher.
Yeah, one that shoots rubber penises.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
With duck faces on it.
depraved person.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, when that person says to somebody else, "Eat a bag of dicks," it's not the same thing at all.
That's the
Yeah,
And I
voice
find
line
it sounds
for the gun.
hilarious too. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, and I'm like, duck fetuses, like, they corkscrew and they like
Oh
burrow
yeah,
into
yeah.
people.
Nice.
It's a very
Yeah.
serious game. Thank you for joining.
Yes.
Marvelous.
Yeah.
And okay, so I think there's one last thing, which is
Do we have to roll for clocks of some description?
oh yeah, we'll need to do that too.
What?
What's
What's the other thing?
The other last thing is that Roger needs to choose a personal what is it? Personal scenario. So also under handouts, if you open up play start.
Do you have a suggestion for me? Because I could just go with the suggestion you have.
Sure. Okay.
If you don't, I'll
Oh.
look through the thing. But
Yeah, we
Okay. Well, I can.
If we don't-
Yeah. Why don't I can assign one that will maybe make things interesting, which is that your signals intelligence has or your spies in within Quasi's organization have found out that they are about to they're planning to attack New Fluo, which is one of the planets that has a population that used to be on
Yeah.
Fluo
It's the
that is now
population that
Adalaska's
Alaska
folly.
Okay.
forced off
Displaced.
that planet.
Yeah.
okay,
do
so
very
these
well.
poor people.
Yeah, they're very nice. We established last time that they're like very nice. They're not even that mad about Adalaska's thing because this new planet is better, and they've really made a home for themselves here.
Sure.
I think we're all nice, but
However-
we're all terrible people.
So, do I have a reason to be against that? Is the new fluo important to me? Like, because what I was thinking that Roger would do, he wouldn't be like, let's worm the poor people. He'd be like, what is the most profitable thing here for me to do? Can I somehow gain some kind of personal gain out of this?
If you get on the ground
Sure.
floor of a new planet, I mean,
Um,
that's
yeah.
your network can grow with it, and you won't have to infiltrate.
Yeah, and I don't want to prescribe a specific way that you would react to it.
I mean,
But
I know
let
how
me-
I'd react to it.
Yeah, let
Personal
me
gain, but I'm not sure
yeah.
what is gaining.
let me lay out some possibilities. So you know that like meta society would definitely frown on some mercenary going out and taking out an Eschaton colony. That.
Yeah,
So,
you know what?
so that in preventing that, that would gain you Woofy. So which is essentially money. It's like
I think
ongoing
like
allotment.
may I make a suggestion?
Sure.
What if an important politician has a daughter on this planet who is, autark there or something along those lines, and they have asked me to keep her safe, and I get favors in return.
Okay.
If you're okay, of course, with me trying to stop your annihilation of Neo Fluo. Quasi.
Yeah, no. I mean, don't watch that, friend. It's fine. You do you.
I should also point out, or I should also offer the option of there are ways once New Flow, if you allowed New Flow to get wrecked, to take advantage of it in the aftermath. Like the people who get,
of course.
the people who get killed in this
I
process.
probably have a plan B available too.
Yeah. I mean, the people who get killed in this process won't be dead forever. Like they will pop back up somewhere. So you could help direct or ameliorate their their new setup if they just leave.
Protection is people don't die.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Death. It's obsolete.
But it could be something like
wasn't.
This is their chance to prove themselves on that planet. So having that succeed is still as beneficial to that person and his daughter.
Yeah.
So that could still.
Yeah, I think so. Like they've just started their own, company there, and they're finally getting their first like solid customers that keep coming back. And the politician pays well.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't have currency or money, or you wouldn't have to worry about that. Just abolish it all and come live on my planet.
I mean, if I didn't have currency or money, I also couldn't be rich,
But are you not rich, surrounded by your friends and family and people who care about you and really understand you?
I don't care about anybody.
Yeah, I mean, the way...
And nobody cares about me either. So take that. Don't make me a giant robot lady. That's going on the inside.
Yeah. I mean, the way the whole woofy reputation system works is that, nobody is starving. Unless they're on a world that, interdicts the rest of society. There's very little scarcity in terms of anything that's absolutely necessary.
But being rich is still cool.
But having more resources to draw upon has its advantages.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned that in my long life. I've worked hard and I deserve my earnings.
Yeah, that's how it starts.
Other people don't work half as hard as me, and you say they should, in your society, just get the same as me? Bullshit.
Oh, okay, wow. Okay, thank you, Starbucks coffee. Okay, so let's fucking do this. Let's roll some dice and play a game.
Yeah. Okay, so, Quasi, why don't you go ahead and do your Force Commander thing? We'll see how your people are feeling about this new venture that you wanted to go off on your own, and there's been some pushback on that, but
I've had a revelation about that, but let's roll my troop commander. And oh my god, they're happy with me for how fitting.
That's insane.
Congratulations.
How could that be?
Impossible. Okay.
Brad's like, I worked so hard. How is this happening?
Did I? If there's other roles that you happen, that's great. But I'm gagging to have a scene. I'm all my little body's so excited. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can do you first if
Yeah.
everybody's cool with that.
Yep.
Mhm.
Sure, just because I think it will affect other people's decisions,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
I do want to have Adalaska roll his world ruler just so that I don't forget. 'Cause otherwise
Excellent.
okay, so you're both rocking. You're people
Wow.
happy,
Wow.
and full of
Well,
scientific
A
inquiry,
good
right?
world ruler has their people unhappy. That is how you get powerful, strong like authority, and make people afraid of you. Sorry.
We could be.
Could I actually
Scientific.
clarify a point of understanding? So, Roger, have I received communication from Roger being like expressing an interest in my little project?
What part of your little project exactly?
Just any at all? Just the idea of the goddess being a thing?
I think that he has been coming by awkwardly often. He has not openly admitted to anything, but if you are in any way perceptive or empathic, you would realize that he's trying to repress his interest very hard.
Great. So I'm
And-
obviously clueless about the whole thing. Brilliant.
I mean, maybe the goddess isn't.
Sure. Okay. So I guess so. When we last left me, I was like, I just dismembered myself, and I had this idea that then this sort of scuttlebug would come up to me and be like, "Oh, but you've not filled out the self-dismemberment paperwork."
Yeah.
And like I turn back to like the little room with the goddess in, and I like see my reflection in the glass, and I'm like, and I have one of my many revelations. I'm a revelator. I have revelations all the time. They're great. And I realized that
Do you revel in them?
huh?
I said, do you revel in them?
Oh no, I don't revel in my revelations.
Okay.
I do love revelry. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's just I'm not mixing my revels. And I realized that the problem with this whole setup I've got going on is me. It's this the whole like lie that I've set up isn't required. So I'm gonna take a deep breath. I'm gonna launch the goddess's little pod bit onto the planet, and then I'm going to a classic move for me. I'm going to murder everyone on the ship, blow up all the data banks, and blow up all the cloning machines, and like crash the ship into a sun or something, and basically kill all the quasi clones, all the worshippers, my ship, like all of the whole thing. I'm just gonna launch the goddess onto the planet and wipe them all out. Yeah. And so that's my plan.
Okay, and
What
this is
would you like me to roll?
okay. So this is not your pod. This is your main ship that has all your favorite stuff on it.
Yeah, all my resources, everything.
And
Everything up just me and my power.
except me.
You know what? I'm changing my
there's
opinion
escape
on this
pods.
bond. I
Nope,
think
it's too
this
late.
person is beyond helping.
Okay. Let me see.
We could obviously roleplay me murdering everyone one at a time, which I'm obviously very capable of. It's just it'll take 3 days.
I mean, and my people have backed you up before.
It's true.
And your
it's true.
goddess did say that you should take some of my folks with you, so
Mhm.
that's like their buffer of protection. For now.
Okay. And look. So let me be clear. You're doing this like all on your own. You're not like bringing one party of people against another. It's just like you personally are trying to crash the whole thing
well, I guess
without talking
as
to
I'm
anybody about it.
such, as I'm such an agreeable person, I offer them I'm like, it's time to die, everyone. And if people are like up for it, then that's great. They can help. But but yeah, no, none are spared. That it's not like I'm getting rid of the problem faction. I've realized that the whole setup is
it's not
the
just
problem.
the younglings.
Yeah, it's it's even the younglings. And also, sorry, I nearly forgot. Just because there's an X-Man fan who's like who's triggered so hard right now, it's Cerebro. Just for like 20 minutes ago, it's Cerebro.
Oh, right.
Oh yes, yes.
I feel your pain, friend. But yes, that is my intent. I want to destroy my ship, all my autarchs and crew, the whole organization. But the goddess, I'm going to launch her to the
I
the
feel
planet.
like my agent
Oh,
on
okay.
board would not like the idea of being launched into a sun.
Well, no, I'm going to murder him first, or her.
Unless they leave.
I mean,
Unless they
like
all-
what
Well,
they
but
would try
yeah,
to
the
do.
agent is infiltrated aboard. I mean, it's not
Sure.
like they look like any other quasi X. Like
And they'll
I
die
mean, what
just
they
as
would
easily.
try to do is steal the most important technology on board and take like a pod and leg it out there. Maybe even sneak aboard the goddess's
Yeah, I
pod.
was about to say. Yeah, the goddess is the most important
okay.
part.
So
Yes, Brad. Can we just do that in a roll? Can we?
yeah. So I think that the role we're looking at here is once you start like the self-destruct sequence, there's definitely going to be whoever is in the room, even if you. I mean, I imagine that like you go to the why am I blanking on the term? The bridge would have the all the setup for self-destruct and probably nowhere else, so that it's not done against your will. Or I mean, it could just be set up that you have the link through the mindscape to do it, but then anybody might have some possibility of like breaking the security and causing your ship to blow up. So probably it's like a physical thing in the bridge, unless that sounds not the way.
Yeah.
Quasi.
I mean, I also imagine there would be biometrics linked to Quasi Prime in particular. But yeah, that all sounds fine. And just to clarify, I obviously want to launch the goddess out before I start any kind of self-destruction. Just because I'm willing for me to
So
not
my agent wouldn't be able to get on board of the goddess, but they would try to grab like important papers, or I guess not necessarily papers, but important like files or research or robots or clones or whatever you have there that they think could be useful for my organization, and try and escape with a pod. You can of course catch them doing it and try to stop them from it.
Okay.
It's
well,
not like you wouldn't notice a pod leaving.
Ship that they'll probably be leaving on, because they're protected. So if you wanted to try to sneak onto that could be an option too.
Okay. I think the way we should probably handle it is to do a roll for the task of setting off the destruction, and then we'll break into reactions to it depending on how that goes.
How that goes, yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Uh,
Oh yeah. If
So-
that goes like bad, then my character, my dude would totally be the first to try and overthrow Quasi and take over Quasi's religion.
okay. So I think this is use force.
Okay, I'm gonna push the button then.
Okay.
Oh my little.
And
Just is there any kind of? Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I think this is going to be like a standard 4 o'clock. Look at the move real quick. Conflict moves. Use force. Badass. Use violence to achieve an objective, and the outcome is in doubt. Roll plus badass. Hard. power move thing. Okay. Oh yeah, this one it isn't even clock based. So yeah, just roll badass.
Cool. And just before I do, can I check, is there any kind of mechanic in this game where I have any kind of currency or something that I can use to give me a bonus to a roll? Or do you just always roll and then it's the range? Like fate points, any kind of,
I mean, can we help each other? Because if my dude were present, they'd totally help you self-destruct if you wanted help there.
You can in fact help or interfere.
I mean,
could I
I'd be
lend
happy
me
to
your
help.
strength?
Can two people
Certainly.
help?
Let me help you push that button while I grab some
lend me your
important
strength.
stuff in the process.
Okay, so first,
So how do I help?
okay, so first roll the quasi roll the use force. It's under conflict moves. Okay.
Fancy.
You don't even need my help.
Yeah, yeah.
You're very good at this.
Yeah.
This is what
So
you were
happy.
meant for.
So
Yeah.
I'm never rolling dice again. That's it. I'm done.
You retired. You're retired from the force.
We've been very lucky in this game.
Well, the next
be
one's going to
very
be a
honest.
13, so, I mean...
It's true.
Yeah, yeah. So, from that list under use force, you get to choose 3 of those things. You probably don't care about avoiding harm since you're trying to destroy yourself along with everything else.
Well, and I can actually take avoid because I have state of the art armor and they do not have state of the art weapons, so I can take damage and it doesn't. And
Yeah.
sorry, is that under the moves handout?
Yes, indeed.
Use force. Unhurt. So I get to choose 2. So it's just. Can I just have it happen without complication? Is that like
Totally.
a thing that I can do by spending 2? Yeah, just that.
Totally. Okay. So yeah. And okay. I'm trying. Yeah, given that there's no complication, the I think that there's going to be that's going to make reacting to it a little bit tricky. But I mean, if like Roger's person is down with the place blowing up anyway, then that's probably not a
I mean, there
but
is
you want
profit
info.
in everything,
Yeah.
including destruction. As
So,
long as they get away, like
Yeah.
obviously there needs to be a can they get away with sweet stuff that you don't want them to get away with?
Well, yeah, that's perfect. So, like, my idea of what a complication would be one of the quasis getting away. So, as long as it's not that, I don't care if Roger gets away, I don't care if Roger takes things, I don't care if the Dazers dudes get out. That's all fine. Just the only thing that in my mind would be a complication is any quasis getting out. So, as long as all of them die and are dead forever, memory banks.
I mean,
raised,
if you didn't want like Roger's guy getting out. Or you don't want him to getting out with your stuff, I'm fine with that, right? Like that's what he'll try. But obviously, if your role is so good that he can't try that, then he can't. Like that's fine by me.
No, that is fine. That's not a complication. You do you, friend.
Okay. Well, okay. I guess I should say that yes, it's no problem like destroying the ship, sending it into the sun, what have you. And all the quasis will definitely die in that. Having them dead forever and and you know, just that having them not re-sleeve
Reincarnate.
somewhere is a different question. That would be
Okay, then after I
Pardon.
heroically murder them all, I go into the mindscape and I destroy their mindstate recordings.
okay. Well, we can yeah.
Seems like more than one roll.
Yeah, it is.
That's a long-term goal. Start a clock.
Okay.
You've triggered a front, and now we have to start a clock.
But yeah, that's
Okay.
great. I'm ecstatic. Someone else can go if they want to, or we can.
Okay. So yeah, let's look in on Roger. So your agent on board Quasi ship has just reported that the alert lights have just gone on. They don't necessarily know what's going on yet. But it seems like something dire.
What has that fool done now? Seriously, can't they just do anything normal for a change? Go find out what they're up to. And let me know as soon as you know.
Okay.
Someone needs to teach them a lesson.
Okay. So yeah, that is I since this is definitely a time sensitive and
Yes.
tense situation. I think we're looking at scan.
Okay.
So that is
Totally.
a information move.
Info move, scan. I have filled in my stats and my org stats, but nothing else. Will scan work when I click the button, or will it
Yeah,
explain?
as long as your stats are filled in, it'll.
I have
it'll
stats and
work
org
just fine.
stats. Okay. I'm good at scanning.
All these successes. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Making me more nervous for
So-
when I have to do a thing, but that's...
Yeah, we're saving all the bad ones for you.
Thanks. Ah, man, I was really looking forward to those, so it's gonna be...
So you can ask a question probably from that second list because it's probably about the situation rather than a specific person. Although if you really want it to be about
where do I find that?
quasi prime, then perhaps it could be.
Scan.
okay.
Second list.
then-
How many can I ask?
You can ask 2, 1, and then like a follow up.
Okay. I am very. I think where can I seek the most advantage?
Sure. Let me see. I think that like out the airlock and onto the pod that is just launched that may happen to contain a mecha goddess.
Okay. I mean, then forget the whole, trying to gather stuff. They are probably not even aware, my agent, that the whole ship is going to blow up, but they want to get that pod. And you know what? They're not aware the ship is going to blow up, so they're not going to get out.
Oh,
They're
that's
going to
fine, yeah.
try and reprogram that ship so that its destination is me.
Okay.
That's what they're going to do. They're not aware of the impending doom because that's not the question I asked.
Oh, I've been broadcasting on the loudspeakers. It's time to die, everyone!
Oh, okay.
well, then they would
I mean,
get onto a pod as
yeah.
fast as they could, and from out there
Yeah.
they would try and reprogram
Okay.
the pod of the.
Yeah, I mean, your
Or
agent
maybe-
is well aware that like death is not permanent, so they
Okay, well, in that
they,
case,
they
I
may
guess-
want to avoid the the setback.
what? Feel
But-
like they would want to avoid it, but I'm telling them not to. I'm telling them to just stay there. You'll find a new body. It will be fine. It's probably gonna be better anyway. Like, what are you complaining about? Just die already. But make sure that if you die, you get that pod and you send it to those coordinates. And I s- send him over some coordinates that
Okay.
he needs to send it to.
So if you go to Mindscape moves,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I mean, the part of the setup of the regional intelligence director is that you have a small group, but they're pretty loyal to the start, at least. So yeah, they'll suck up their death and try and first search for exploits to try and break into the nav computer, and then attempt they can if that goes well, they can try and compromise the security.
Wow.
What the hell?
Okay.
Seriously,
This game is broken.
these
I've
dice
been
are
looking
broken.
at the rolls too, and they're all different.
Well, that's fine.
What?
So you can you get to choose all three of those items. So the nav system isn't alerted that you've broken into it. You're going to get another +1 on that next roll, and nobody else finds out that you have broken into the system. So
I mean, yeah.
okay.
Cool.
So one more roll, and on the sheet you can there's like these your character sheet there's like these arrows pointing
Other
out
mods
by
we set to 1. Do I get any organization mods?
no,
Or
just
do you
the other mod.
Okay.
And be
Then
sure to
roll?
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Finally.
Something doesn't go perfect.
Yes.
Finally.
But
Okay. Okay. So this is the nav computer is a non-sentient system.
I mean, I want to edit the information stored on it, specifically the coordinates.
Okay. Okay. So yes, you can absolutely both edit and access the information and have it start heading towards your stealth ship elsewhere in the system.
I think I'm not sending it to my stealth ship because I
okay.
imagine on my stealth ship I have personnel and I do not want anybody to know of my kink. So I'm sending it to just
you have a
behind
shed in the back, or just
Yeah.
posters of this mecha
I'm
robot?
sending it to a nearby, like just behind a nearby asteroid, and I'm taking my own personal pod to go there and retrieve it.
Okay.
It is a shed.
Okay. And let me see. There is a complication which I've taken
Yes.
mental note of.
Oh, oh dear. Those are always the most dangerous.
So, okay.
So sorry, just to be that guy. I try not to be that guy, but I am that guy. But is there not like a button that you can push that's like turn off cloud sync, save to hard drive for the mind states? So that I set it so that they're not beamed out, they're saved locally, and then when the ship blows up, the mind states are destroyed. Question mark. Or could I possibly achieve that vis-a-vis a roll?
You can yeah, it's possible to achieve it by a roll, but
I have an idea of how that might work.
yeah.
When you're killed and reborn, we've talked about this with Atalaska, is where they're remade is set before they die. So maybe you have a single cloning machine that has all this data backed up into it that they're scheduled to be reborn in. but
Yeah, because they all
they're just in
spawn back at the ship.
stasis. Yeah. So that would solve the mindscape thing and also give you control over how they're reborn, but also allow later someone else to come mess with that. So, does that make sense, Brett?
Yes. I mean, I think there is like some like built into the whole resleeving network. There's like a fair amount of redundancy and resiliency because you know the you know this
Dying
advanced
is kind
society
of a big
doesn't
thing.
want people to die. They
Yeah.
you know they would consider
On
that.
an unrelated note, your jacket's wonderful today, Brad. I mean, it makes your shoulders look very flush. You know, you're just very, very well dressed.
Like the way those 3 buttons contrast with
no.
the cascading locks on the one side, the jaunty
Thank
angle
you.
of your hat.
I try or am trying. You know, I should do some stuff.
Oh dear.
Yes, yes.
Do we really
have
want you
to.
to do stuff? Is it exactly
No.
necessary?
I don't
You
feel
You
pressure.
could skip it for today, you know.
Yeah.
Just do it next week.
It's a cheat day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's yeah.
Less stuff for
But the
everyone.
players get to cheat. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we're having these ridiculous rolls, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes, but no.
Perfect.
I think before we look in on what Aerothin is doing both on Isopod and that poor contingent of Aerothin that is on the doomed ship. We first see what is her name? Jacqueline.
Yes. Jacqueline.
Yeah, I think that we haven't really had a scene showing her people arrive en masse on Isopod yet, have we?
It's because they're not arriving en masse on Isopod. I offered them the same deal that everyone else gets.
Yes, which is
yes.
to
they can still arrive en masse, but I'm just saying I never. It's like saying, "Oh, I'm going to bring a few friends," and then like several hundred people show up. We'll work it out, but yeah.
So, I think what we see is sort of with the terraformer, the ship that has the terraformer.
Mm-hmm.
There's sort of a bunch of like landers precede it, and people come out, and again they're in these like fashions that maintain the utility of the clothing that's so popular on Isopod, but with that you know half a step of fashion forward, that's so intriguing, and a bunch of like these very of these very pretty sort of quicksilver balloons also are released, pop out with them that float to just right at well, I guess like half a foot above like average head height. Like it's they're like slightly out of the way. You don't like bump into them, or people don't bump into them, but it's hard not to notice them, and they once they are dispersed,
Explain that.
Uh,
How do you mean dispersed? Like spread out throughout the
they
city?
start to spread out throughout the city. Yes.
Okay, that's no.
Okay.
Right,
okay. So they are starting to disperse. We'll cut that there. And so.
Because I am overprotective.
Oh yes. Okay.
I got traits to protect myself.
So yes, there's.
Hold on. Wait.
Is it tea time?
Oh, yeah. Before we find out what Erethan is doing about these horrible balloon things that are invading their
Vicious invasion of my planet.
Aw.
Balloons from another planet.
as well as what they do about the imminent death of their contingent aboard the doomed Merc ship. Let's take a little break. And Thing, come on, Thing. There we go. And come back in, say, 7 minutes, 5 minutes. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's call it 5-ish.
Cool. Stay tuned, everyone. This is like such a hype. I'm having so much fun this episode. We got excellent. I feel the team synergy this week. So yeah.
Team synergy towards chaos.
Yes. So please stick around and/or click on the second half of this episode.